Lads, I got it wrong. Last week I covered everything new about Conan's Sacred Hunt event coming in the Age of War Chapter 4. In that video I said that it seemed the alternative path to finish the event and get the Werebear boss as a pet didn't seem to be on the Isle of Siptah. However, as you probably guessed by the title of the video, turns out that I was wrong. After I finished my Purge video, I hopped back onto Siptah to try out the ballista. I logged back in at one of the taverns I'd built to test if Xil The Wanderer would spawn, and though he didn't before, I thought I'd just give it one more go. Okay, not exactly one, I did a few refreshes, and nothing of note. Until Xil The Wanderer. If he spawns, surely that means the alternative path through the Sacred Hunt is on Siptah, right? Well, I spoke to Xil, and he had the exact same dialogue as he does on the Exiled Lands.
In a dark, forgotten place, seek out a primeval hyena who walks as a man.
Dark and forgotten. That can't be too hard on Siptah, right? Okay, it was difficult. I firstly checked the forums to see if anybody had beat me to it, and nobody had, but some people had been looking. I jumped into one of the threads to share some ideas, and the hunt began. I tried to find if there were any pre-existing Jebel Sag related sites on Siptah, but it seems there aren't any. I then flew around under the map for over an hour, this was the first time I did this, checked Xil and the Isle of Dusk, looked around the tower, inside the vaults of the Wolf Brothers, but nothing. Initially I was looking for the cave, but the longer the search went, the more I thought it was possible the cave might not be on Siptah, and instead the altar would be on the overground somewhere. I recruited the help of Nocturnal Moon, my fiancée, and she had an idea. She used a very advanced technique, employing state-of-the-art software to triangulate a potential search area which she determined to lie on one of these two lines. With that, the search began, and after a very thorough investigation, you will not believe what we found. Nothing. Back to the drawing board. What is dark and forgotten? One could argue that most of Siptah fits that description, but if we really wanted to boil it down, it has to be one of two areas, Xil or the Isle of Dusk. At first I thought maybe near the new destructible fort in Xil, but no such luck. I also tried the new fort at New Luxor too, but again, nothing. I checked some other areas around Xil, but just could not find a thing. Some of the suggestions in the forum thread had very similar ideas, and some that I hadn't even thought of, but ultimately nothing came to fruition. Some in the thread also suggested areas near some of the vaults, the Rabbit Shrine, and some of the caves around the map. I checked the most likely vaults and the Rabbit Shrine to no avail, and after checking literally every single cave on the map, nothing at all. I was, admittedly, beginning to lose my mind at this point. The idea of the cave from the Exiled Lands being ported to Siptah seemed like a no-brainer to me, but as I searched more and more, the idea of the altar just being somewhere overground seemed more likely than ever, and depending on how well it was hidden, might just be dumb luck to find it. I headed over to the Isle of Dusk for the third time and combed through. The fractured citadel seemed pretty dark and forgotten, and though there is a lot of space here, no sign of the altar. I checked almost every point of interest, scoured around, looked underground, overground, and I just had nothing. And then there it was, right at the back of the blood mines. This was the third time I'd been around the Isle of Dusk, and I remembered a vertical mine-like structure, but I didn't have the POI marker revealed on the beta, so I kinda struggled to find it. However, there it was, tucked away deep in the blood mines, over in map square F6. Just to make doubly sure, I spawned the Werehyena, killed it, got the ancient blood, and I can confirm that the alternative route through the Sacred Hunt event is available on the Isle of Siptah. To be honest, I would have liked to have found this for the original video, but it seems I wasn't alone in not knowing if this part of the event was on this map. It seems others on the forums didn't see Xil in their tavern and came to the same conclusion. I'm not sure if we were all just unlucky, or if his spawn rate on Siptah is a bit less common than the Exiled Lands, or if I just got very lucky on the Exiled Lands, but at the end of the day, it all worked out fine. We spoke to Xil, found the altar, and you can indeed get the werebear pet on the Isle of Siptah. This search was quite hectic at times, but for all the help with their ideas, techniques, advice, and just general encouragement, to be honest, I would like to give a big shout out to the following people: Nocturnal Moon, Urjo, Lucidique, Marco C, and Stellar Gel. Thank you for watching, and of course a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Finding this altar was a lot more difficult than I assumed it would be, though if I'm being honest, the search itself was quite fun, and at least now all the information is out there for the Siptah enjoyers. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.